So I'm really surprised I'm going to be saying that I finally played a Sonic game that is effectively Sonic Adventure 3. Yes, these are the Dreamcast originals, incredibly rare, hard to find. I had these for forever, but yeah, I've been waiting for 20 years for a Sonic Adventure 3, and we finally got it with Sonic Frontiers. I'm spoiling the review by going ahead and just saying this game is absolutely phenomenal, but this game is absolutely phenomenal. I have spent 24 hours just straight playing a Sonic game, just playing Sonic Frontiers. I haven't done that since these two, since the original games on the Sega Genesis. So I'm blown away. But yeah, I guess I need to go ahead and segue into the review of Sonic Frontiers. I'm playing it on Nintendo Switch, and eventually I will be playing this on other platforms like Steam Deck as well as on the PlayStation 5 eventually. But yeah, I'm here to talk about how this game is on the Switch, which also blows me away because when you consider games coming to the Switch, they're not really optimized well. Sega went above and beyond to make sure this game runs so beautifully. And yeah, we're going to talk about it in this video review for Sonic Frontiers. Shout out to Sega for providing a review copy of the game. I really didn't expect this at all because I thought it was too late to get a review copy, but the amazing folks over there at Sega, they hit me up, gave me the opportunity to cover it, and I was like, you know what, why not? You know, I'm coming off pneumonia and I want to play something fun, and this blew me away. I can't put it down. Like, even I want to end this video so I can get back to playing. Anyways, we're going to talk about that and so much more in this review. Okay, so talking about the story for Sonic Frontiers, this is a darker, if not one of the darkest Sonic stories that we've experienced since the Sonic Adventure titles, as it has Sonic trapped on a mystical island in this digital world, and he needs to save his friends who have been digitized and are like ghostly apparitions. The game starts with Dr. Robotnik, aka Dr. Eggman, discovering a portal pedestal within an ancient civilization belonging to those known as the Ancients and activating it with a device that he's concocted. His plans are foiled and he gets pulled within the portal pedestal as the ancient sentinels come online to defend their environment, their civilization. We are then shown Sonic, Tails, and Amy flying on Tails' tornado plane when suddenly a digital dimensional rift is open and sucks them in. After getting through a glitchy replica of Green Hill Zone, Sonic awakens looking around trying to find Tails and Amy. He then hears a voice telling him that he has escaped cyberspace by the sheer will of his own power and tells him that he is the key. He is told then that in order to save his friends that he needs to find the Chaos Emeralds, destroy the Titans of the world, and tear down the walls between dimensions. How do the Chaos Emeralds fit into this world? Who are the Titans and why must Sonic destroy them? What and how are the dimensions digitized and merging? Sonic will have to continue this journey to find out. When you start the game, you're presented with a selection of one or two gameplay styles that you have, with them either being the action style or high-speed style. The action style is there for those who are not familiar with gameplay of a traditional 3D Sonic game, while the high-speed mode is for those who are used to 3D Sonic titles, particularly what is deemed as the Boost era titles. When it comes to the gameplay of Sonic Frontiers, look, I have a lot to say because there's so much to cover in this, and I have to say that it plays nothing like any other Sonic game, and that's honestly a good thing because 3D Sonic has always been something that Sega has, never quite got right, as you normally have either the formula that they almost got right with Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, or you get what I like to deem the runner style that you saw with Sonic Heroes all the way to Sonic Forces. That's just never quite felt right. Sonic Frontiers gives you basically Sonic Adventure 3 in everything but name, as it's an open world Sonic that allows you to explore to your heart's content while fighting enemies on the field, both small and Shadows of the Colossus size, with gimmick puzzle fights included in a Sonic style overall, along with grabbing rings and various items located all over as you grind rails and speed all over the place. The controls are incredibly tight and fluid in a way that hasn't been felt in hardly any 3D game to date. Sonic has access to his signature boost ability along with a double jump and home and attack. But he also has a new move that allows him to do punch and kick combos that can be chained into several of his other abilities. Sonic Frontiers also has some RPG-like elements to the game, as you can level up Sonic's offensive and defensive stats, along with his speed and the total amount of rings that he can carry. In the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you will see Sonic's level stats for the above mentioned, ranging from level 1 all the way up to level 99. As you meet the Hermit Coco, you will be able to level up these stats with red seeds of power and blue seeds of defense that you gain access to by exploring the island and fighting enemies. Okay, so the Hermit Coco, and there's also another one you're going to meet, which are Elder Coco, and they're these little ones that are just called Cocos in general. These are going to be creatures that are native to this world. They've been around since ancient times, and you'll collect little Cocos as you go around, and when you give them to the Elder Coco, he'll increase your attack and defensive stats, but also will give you the option to do a trade-off of sacrificing your ring level for more speed and vice versa. There's also a skill tree system in place, but it isn't the most in-depth or deepest that you'll find out there, but it is exactly what it needs to be for Sonic's first true open world game. As you progress through the game, Sonic will gain new abilities that will unlock after certain story elements, along with the abilities that he can unlock with the skill tree that is present. Sonic's first new ability that he gains from the skill tree is the Side Loop, which is a move that sees him running around leaving a blue light trail behind him, which, if you encircle an enemy or an object within this blue light trail, will then have Sonic unleash light speed energy that damages his enemies. This is especially useful when used against enemies that have shields and can be used to discover various secrets within areas. Other new abilities that you gain are the Sonic Boom and Wild Rush. The Sonic Boom is executed by pressing ZL during a combo or in midair, and has Sonic literally throwing sonic booms similar to Guile and Charlie's Sonic Blitz super art from Street Fighter in the Versus series. And then his other move, the Wild Rush, is a high-speed zigzagging attack that's activated by pressing L or R and then Y and delivers a ton of damage to the enemy. Since the game begs you to explore, you will be utilizing the map to see how much of the island that you've explored and setting waypoints for you to let you know where to go. You can even utilize the map to see various side quests as well as keep track of the progress that you've made on gaining various collectibles. You will come across levels or zones called portal pedestals that will require you to have a certain number of portal gears collected in order to gain access to portals. When you enter these portals, you'll basically be accessing levels or zones that are 2.5D and are, what I deemed earlier, runner 3D levels that call back to 2D Sonic levels like Green Hill Zone and levels that you find in games like Sonic Colors and the like. These levels do not last very long, and while they often feel like callbacks, because essentially they are, they don't play the same as the games that they come from, as the 2.5D levels as well as the runner-style Sonic Colors inspired levels play with the mechanics of Sonic Frontiers, which has its own momentum and physics, so you'll need to adjust your playstyle in order to clear these effectively. As you explore the world, you'll need to gather up vault keys in order to gain access to Chaos Emeralds that are sealed away in vaults. You can gain vault keys by defeating enemies, exploring the overworld, completing puzzles, and doing various minigames like fishing with Big the Cat. You guys remember him? Yeah, I haven't seen that dude in a long time. While there are numerous minigames to dive into, fishing with Big the Cat is honestly one of the most addicting minigames I've played in years. It reminds me of Sega Bass Fishing for the Sega Dreamcast. Puzzles are all over the island, and many will consist of activating X number of switches, racing to X location within a certain time limit, and using Side Loop to activate glowing spheres and more. As you explore more of the island, you will come across your friends, of which you'll need to collect specific items in order to free them. Such as, in order to free Amy, you'll need to gather up various heart-shaped items called Amy's Memory Tokens that you'll find from exploring, fishing, and fighting enemies and more. Honestly, there's so much more to the gameplay and mechanics of the game that just continue to open as you play the game that I'll just leave the rest for you to find out on your own. Graphically, the game looks good running on the Switch in both handheld and docked modes, with the game running at 720p in handheld mode with an unlocked frame rate ranging from 30 to the upper 50s, with it rarely ever hitting 60 frames per second. Now, when I needed to capture footage of the game in docked mode, I captured it using the Unitech Nintendo Switch dock. This is a neat little device that you can use, and it's pocketable, right? It gives you an Ethernet, you get your power input, HDMI, and 2 USB ports, and it's neat. It's got the neon, Switch kind of atmosphere to it. So it's kind of a cheap plug if you want to pick one of these up. I'll leave a link down in the description below, but this is what I used when I was capturing footage, along with using the AverMedia Live Gamer Extreme 3 capture card, which is what I use because I'm partnered with AverMedia. It's an excellent capture card, so if you need to get one, then make sure you check it out in the link down below. In docked mode, the game runs at 1080p at a frame rate that varies between 30 to 60 frames per second that tries to stay closer to 60 frames per second. You'll notice in cutscenes and during gameplay that there's endless amounts of texture pop-ins, as you'll see trees and other environmental objects loading into view as you get closer to them, which I assume is done specifically for the Switch to offset any memory issues that the Switch's aging hardware would run into. And then when it comes to the character models, they're all rendered well on the Switch with some cool anti-aliasing techniques that make jaggies not really seem apparent. I mean, they're there if you were to pull a digital foundry and dig deep enough, but they're really not present at all if you're looking with the naked eye. But I will say that there's one area where the game doesn't look the greatest at times on the Switch, and that's within the cutscenes. And that's truly when it comes to the color gamut used for Sonic and Company, which it looks substantially better on other platforms in comparison to what it looks like on the Switch. Now, when it comes to the audio, the OST is stellar, as per usual when it comes to a Sonic title. However, the main track that you will be hearing is honestly very moody. I think that's kind of how I want to present it, because that's kind of the vibe and atmosphere that I got off of it. It gives off a very bleak and desolate and somber feeling that kind of feels like you're playing a survival horror game, which is not the norm for a Sonic game. It definitely is atmospheric, and when you encounter an enemy, especially the colossal ones, it starts to shift to tones that make you feel a sense of overall dread and isolation in what feels like pretty much a post-apocalyptic world, or at least what one would expect from a Sonic game's take on one. Now, when it comes to the voice acting is great as Roger Craig Smith continues to nail it as Sonic and gives what I feel is his best take on the character, as he gives Sonic some much needed depth and helps showcase more of how the blue blur feels in various situations. The other cast for Amy, Tails, and Eggman and the like are all top notch and deliver greatly. You can really tell that Sega really put a lot into making this a Sonic game that stands out and put a massive budget into the game, as this doesn't feel like any Sonic game you've played before. Again, it feels like Sonic Adventure 3, but in a sense of like, this feels like the definitive Sonic 3D experience that we've been waiting for. Now, when it comes to the downsides, I don't really have any to really report, as I didn't really run into any graphical issues or gameplay hangups. What really surprised me the most was how well the game runs on the Switch, as we've seen time and again how poorly optimized third-party games are for the Switch, and yet Sega cut no corners to make this run like a dream on Nintendo's hybrid console. Now, in wrapping everything up, when it comes down to it, Sonic Frontiers is what we Sonic fans have been asking for decades, and that's Sonic Adventure 3, as it's literally that in everything but the name. This game has evolved the Sonic formula better than any 3D Sonic game has in decades since Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and perfectly incorporates an open world action adventure with RPG elements in it that you wouldn't believe works as beautifully as it does. With a great story that pays respect to the Sonic Adventure titles and the series as a whole, with insanely tight and responsive controls, bombastic fun gameplay, and so much to do and see, Sonic Frontiers is the definitive 3D Sonic game and the Sonic Adventure 3 that we deserve along with being a great way to cap off 2022. This game really surprised me, so I'm just gonna say this: go out and buy it. Don't sleep on this game, as it's simply amazing. That's it. That's the review for Sonic Frontiers. Again, mahalo and thank you to Sega for providing me the review copy of the game. Like I said, I didn't expect to be reviewing this, and it was a great surprise. I absolutely love playing this. I can't put it down, and as much as I love playing it on the Switch, I can't wait to play it on the Steam Deck. And you know, I need to go out and pick up a copy for the PlayStation 5 as well, because I just want to show love for it on that platform. And I want to, you know, every game that I get a review copy of, I don't know if I've said this in other videos, but I'll say it here. Anytime I get a review copy of a game, I always go and purchase a copy of the game so that I can support the developers, because you know, as someone who grew up in an era when you didn't know if you were going to get a sequel to a game or not, we're really spoiled now with games constantly just influx of them coming out over and over and over. And you know, maybe this is just a weird quirk of mine, but I just like to support the developers. You know, if I really like a game, and you guys know, and I get a lot of criticism because, oh, Mikhail, your reviews are generally positive. Well, I curate the games to play only what I'm actually interested in. Like, yes, I'm a games journalist, but I'm not going to be covering games I don't have an interest in, because I'm not just covering games, I'm covering tech, I'm covering, you know, a lot of different things. And I really am curating it to things I'm personally interested in, because yeah, I can be objective, but if I'm not interested in what I'm covering, then you're going to see there's no passion behind it. And I want to keep that passion there. So, I don't know. If you want to flame me, go ahead, comment section down below. Am I going to answer? Probably not. But all that being said, I absolutely love this game. Again, I know I went on a little ramble there, but yeah, I'm going to pick up and support this game and the developers by picking up a copy for PlayStation 5. But I want to hear what you guys think. Have you guys tried Sonic Frontiers? Is it a game you're looking at picking up? Whatever your thoughts are, let's go ahead and get the comments going in the comment section down below. And if you want to pick up a physical copy of the game or even a digital copy, I'll have affiliate links down below as well. And also, if you want to pick it up, you know, for PC, I've got CD keys as well as my Humble bundle partner. I'm partnered with Humble, so you can pick up a copy for PC as well. All that being said, I had a great time with this. This is that time to wrap it up. It's really late when I'm recording this too. Anyway, I'm tired. So all that being said, if you enjoyed the video, like it, sub to the channel if you haven't already, ding the notification bell. And if you want to support further, we got channel memberships. We also got Patreon for early and exclusive access to content, behind the scenes, and so much more. Got nothing else to say. Stay safe, be blessed, have an aloha feel the rest of your day. And yeah, I'll see you guys around. Peace.